Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is you are tuning in. I just want to welcome you to Mommy Mondays, where we give mommy tips on Mondays about all types of things, all types of children that range from infant to all the way to college. I am Indira, and I am here to let you know all about bedtime. Wow. Why is that so important? I'm here to tell you. One thing I often see as a daycare provider and an early learning center teacher is that children are totally different, just like adults, when they don't get their adequate rest. And boy, oh boy, can you imagine? Before I even get started, we are already at the end of July. This is the last Monday in July, guys. The last Monday in July, meaning August is about to start, which means we have got to get back to us moms anyway, and those who are taking care of children. We are now having to get back to the rigmarole, school, homework, buses, breakfast, after school activities, meetings, PTA meetings, all of those things. And so it will hit us just like we are already at the end of July. It's going to hit us quickly. So as we prepare to go into the new school year, I think it's very important that we talk about the importance of having a bedtime or nighttime routine, whatever you want to call it. And there's several reasons why. I'm going to speak about two of them in depth. So bedtime is important for not only the child, but definitely for the mom, the caregiver, the dad, whoever is that person who is doing the nighttime routine. But since this is a mommy tip, I'm going to be saying mom, but mom can be whatever you want it to be, okay? So, two things. Sleep is very important for children for several different reasons. I want us to all understand and remember, as mothers, we are here to teach our children. We are their first teachers. And we are here to help them to understand and establish processes that they can not only use now in their childhood, but also as they enter adult years. It is our purpose to make them the best human beings that they can be. And we have to start that the moment that they're born. They are always learning. As you've all heard, children are sponges, right? So we have got to make sure that we are establishing these processes and explain to our children the reasons why. So the reason why bedtime is so important is because the obvious, right? We need adequate sleep. Children need about 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Adequate sleep so that we can increase our mood. We have better moods, for weight management, for proper brain functioning and growth. I have some notes here. Let's see. I also have pretty much the best thing is built in the importance of prioritizing sleep. Like, sleep is something that we actually have to prioritize. And who else is going to teach our children that? We're the ones that put them to sleep. But for some of us, sleep was used as punishment, right? You didn't eat your food, go to bed. You didn't do your homework, go to bed. What if you were disobedient? Your punishment was to go to bed. So I think for some of us, that's the reason why we don't sleep now, because we view sleep as punishment. But sleep is not punishment. It's a gift that we give our body for performing for us all day long. So we have to now stress that importance to our children, okay? If a child is waking up around 6 o'clock in the morning, I say that the best time is 8 to 8:30 at night, where they need to be in the bed ready to sleep. Yes, 8 to 8:30. And that is hectic, especially when you get off of work and you have to pick them up from daycare and you don't get home till 6 o'clock. In that hour and a half, those 2 hours, depending what time you choose, you're going to have to establish processes and routines around bedtime to eliminate the issues that your child's going to have at school, at daycare, or with you out in public. If a child does not get adequate sleep, that's when you see an increase in negative behaviors. Okay, so an example would be you get home at 6 o'clock, take your shoes off, get the kids in the bathtub. If you know that as the night goes on, you're not going to feel like doing it, as soon as you come in the door, put them in the bathtub. Get them in the bathtub. Wash them up, get their pajamas on, and that's one thing that you've gotten out of the way. Especially for those people who have children who are not able to do anything independently, that you have to do everything. Get them ready for bed. Then after that, it's time for them to eat. If you're ready to start dinner as soon as you get in the house, start dinner as soon as you get in the house. If not, give them a bath. After they have that bath, they're going to be naturally calmer. A bath just calms them down and makes them feel fresh. And in this day and age, it takes all the yucky pandemic stuff off of them, right? Then by 7 o'clock, it's time to eat. 6:30, it's time to eat. Depending on your time, you know your schedule. But after that, there needs to be some type of conversation about bedtime, about sleeping. There needs to be some type of physical movement and physical encouragement, whether it's going to be, you're going to be in your room starting at 8 o'clock. That's when you go to your room, because now it's time to have Johnny time. It's time to have Sarah time. It's time to have Malia time. Whoever your child's name is, you're teaching them that this is the gift. We're about to give our body a gift. So we're going to go into our rooms and we're going to start to get ready for this gift. We're going to start to program our body. So there shouldn't be loud music. It shouldn't be a lot of loud talking. It shouldn't be an environment that is going to excite your child when you are trying to put them to bed, right? And for the entire house, it's a way of just turning it down. For me personally, I close my blinds, I turn on my outside lights. Those are just things that I do personally to kind of start to shut my mind down. So if I need that, a child is going to need that as well. If you need that, your child is going to need that as well. The other thing that makes bedtime so important is the time that it gives a mom. I called 8:30 because that was the time my children went to sleep. 8:30, that was mommy time. And as a matter of fact, if we go into the next day, they weren't allowed to knock on my door until 9 o'clock in the morning. This is when they got a little bit older and they could function on their own. My rest was very important. People ask me all the time, how did you do it with 4 kids? I prioritized my mommy time. And when I didn't prioritize my mommy time, I paid for it. During that mommy time, when you put those children to bed by 8:30, even if you don't go to bed till 12 o'clock at night, which I don't recommend, but even if you don't go to bed to midnight or after midnight, you now have from 8:30 to midnight, 8:30 to 10, 8:30 to 11 to do several things. I finished grad school during my mommy time. You can entertain your romantic relationships. Let's not forget about the husband. At 8:30, that's also a time that the family can say, you know what? At 8:30, a husband can say, I'm going to have my wife. At 8:30, I'm going to have her undivided attention. Anything that you need that requires your undivided attention, whether it's a relationship, if it's your work, schoolwork, whatever, a telephone call, answered emails, work that you brought from home, anything that you are going to have to do uninterrupted, put that in your mommy time. But remember, mom, you're about to go to sleep, so you don't want to put anything too heavy in that block of time. But let that be a time where you meditate, where you pray. I paid bills during my mommy time. It had to be, I painted my nails, like whatever it is that you need to do that you want to do without your kids, let that be in the block of time, because it's going to better prepare you for the morning. It's going to also give you a moment, a block of time to look forward to as your day goes on and you're like, oh my God, I cannot. All you're going to tell yourself at 4 o'clock, at 6 o'clock, at 7 o'clock is 8:30. At 8:30, I get my mommy time. At 8:30, I'm putting her to bed and I'm going to get my mommy time. But if you don't establish those processes with your children, you're going to be fighting, especially with toddlers. You're going to be fighting all the way up to bedtime. Or bedtime is going to look like you falling asleep in their bed because you haven't set them up in a way that they can go to sleep independently. We'll talk about that in another tip. Or what else does bedtime look like? Waking up and all the lights are on, TV's still on, loud. You don't even know what happened. The routine has to be established for your evening. Even if the only thing that you have established is that they go to sleep at 8:30 and you don't know what you're going to do after that, establish a bedtime. Before the bedtime, just like the last video, prep your child. Let them know it is bedtime. It is time for you to have Johnny time. We're going to go to your bed. You can play with a toy, no electronics. You can play with, or if it's an electronic, whatever you're the mom, whatever you decide you want them to play with, allow them to play with that quietly, I suggest, so that their brain, the best thing would be for them to read a book, but everybody has different needs, right? So if reading a book helps, have them to read a book, but you know your kid. What calms your kid down? Could it be soothing, relaxing music? Could it be ocean waves, meditation music? Whatever it has to be something that the child recognizes as a clue, as a cue to bedtime. Okay, so pretty much that's what I wanted to say to you guys today. Now that we're getting ready for school to start back up, please start establishing processes, routines around, and in language around bedtime. And when your child does a good job, reward them. Reward them with a compliment. Reward them with a good job. It doesn't always have to be a tangible reward, but it always has to be something that lets them know that you see them and you appreciate them. And that I forgot to mention in my last video. And the last video was about taking your children to the store. I forgot to mention when they come back in the car and they do a good job in that store, tell them, good job. I really like the way you did that. Anytime they do something, even if the smallest thing, reward them. So mommies, I'm going to reward you today and say, good job. Good job that you came back for another tip. Good job that you're implementing the last tip. Good job that you're going to implement this tip and you're going to prioritize your mommy time. Because when you prioritize your mommy time, you allow your children to learn the significance of rest. Their brains are functioning better. They're managing their weight and their health a lot better. You are helping them to heal their body and definitely have them to be in a better mood the next day. Okay, and when you prioritize mommy time, there are certain things that you have to neglect during the day that you can then attend to at night. Things like you. How about that? How about you give yourself some time? Okay, so that's about it. This video was a little bit long, but I hope you like it. I hope I covered and touched on everything. I had some notes here, so I was looking at them, but get some sleep tonight, rejuvenate. And the last thing I want to say is don't wait for the school year to get started to start implementing these strategies. But let's see, before school, about 1 to 2 weeks, at least 1 week before school starts, have your child to go to bed have your child to go to bed at their school bedtime. That's what I was going to say. Have your child to go to bed at the time they are going to go to bed when they start school. Don't wait till the night before. 1 to 2 weeks before. So that means, mom, you've got to start getting in routine, and baby kid has to start getting in routine because school is coming up and those things have to be established so that because the first night of school is not going to be a good time to start. Too much stress, too much anxiety, too much excitement. It's not going to go. So start now. Okay? So thank you so much for tuning in to our Mommy Monday tip of the week. Prioritize that bedtime. Have a wonderful day. And just remember that you are so blessed to be a mommy. Talk to you later and see you next Monday. And before you go, if there's someone that came into your mind that you thought about while watching this video, go ahead and share this with them, and let me know what tips you want next. Give me any comments. It encourages me, and I hope this helps. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Next Monday. See you soon.